Can you hear me?
Yep,
Okay.
all good.
Alright. Alright, so Darius top. Okay. Okay, ignite, flash, that's fine. So the thing with Darius is that he is a very strong and very aggressive laner. So when you when you pressure your opponent, you're gonna be expecting you've got to expect ganks because of just how naturally aggressive he is. So that's just a heads up. It's just like you'll have to play differently when you kind of at a certain point you have to play differently because if the enemy jungler starts red side, they'll finish blue, and they have two options: they back and then they gank you through lane, or river, or they just straight up gank you. But at that one particular instance, you need to be aware that okay, there should be a gank coming around now. I'll be careful. So you gotta change your playstyle up a bit. You can't just stay permanently aggressive because when you get ganked and the gank is successful, you're gonna fall behind. You might lose CS, you might lose money, you might lose EXP, you might get completely zoned out, or you might be killed, which is basically the accumulation of all of the above. So okay,
Mm,
huh? Yeah, what you're doing here is fine too. Just keeping a scout in case that since your team is invading, that means that oh okay, they want to invade, so maybe their jungler is like gonna counter invade by going through your red. So it's good that you're scouting for your team, and looks like that nobody. It looks like nobody on their side is responding. So it's safe to assume that they will not be invading, and you have the option to tell your jungler that oh hey he's not invading, but you don't have to.
mm,
It's not like required to say hey they're not invading her. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to push because this is Riven. Okay, so you want to push to level 2 as fast as possible because Riven is also as aggressive as you, but she has a stronger early game and can hard carry if she starts to get ahead. And good Riven players will be able to animation cancel properly and be
mm.
able to um, get a full combo off. Good. Okay, so you got all the CS in the lane. That's really good. Also you tried it. It's not there, but if you notice what she did, she went into the bush. She's using this thing called the surprise factor, in which okay, so you should be able to fight her here actually. Yeah, see? Yep. Okay. So when you hit level 2, you need to see okay, first there's the I got to go over the surprise factor. Okay,
Mhm.
the surprise factor is just using the bush to your advantage. In the fact that where is it? Let me see. Right around here. No. Even further back from that, I'm gonna need to take a screenshot. So she's using where's my paint? She's using this thing called the surprise factor. It's a method where you basically just enter this bush and you don't know where the opponent's gonna come out from. So they can just like if she were level 2, she could just dash Q you, dash Q or dash auto, etc. etc. It's a surprise
Mhm.
factor. As Darius, when you're aggressive, because you're an aggressive like top laner, you can use this to your advantage too. You can just walk in here, walk forward, and then walk back into the bush, and then go back to your minions. When you enter the bush and you're completely out of sight, it's kind of like hide and seek. No, it's not really like hide and seek. It's kind of like you feel like you're a Rengar for a little bit. At any point, you have the option to just come out and like kill this guy, or you can just like go stabilize in CS. But when you're invisible for that brief moment in the bush, it's completely unpredictable. Kind of screws them over psychologically. They don't know what you're gonna do. When they can see you and see you how you move and stuff, like oh okay that's okay. But when they can't see you, they don't know whether you're gonna go forward or backward. So see
All
right there,
right.
you tried to do the Q. You want to see if you can. If it's okay if you don't hit her, but the best thing to do to optimize your damage is you Q and make sure you hit her while hitting the CS. Hitting the CS is fine. It's just the best thing to do is to aim to, because the farther they are away from your Q, the more damage it does. Because if there's a part where if you spin, there's like a certain radius in which the damage is increased. At least I believe that. See, so right here, you don't know where she's gonna go. She might go down, or she might go back in to fight you, and you can't see her here. You don't know where she is. So at this point, I would throw out a Q because if she's still standing on the edge of the bush, she'll take damage. Yeah, like
Mm,
that. Good, but you didn't know that because you don't know where she is. That's the unpredictability factor. Now, minions haven't changed since the olden days, so Here's what should have been done right here. Because you're Darius and you actually push pretty fast, and see how it takes 7 minions for both mid laners or both top laners to level up to 2. So you've already killed your
Mm-hmm.
entire wave, because I know you've killed your entire wave. You can't see it here, but there's 6 minions. So you would just need one more to level up. On her side though, well, this one just died right here, I believe. So that's this one died right here, and there's no melee minions from the last wave currently alive, which means that she's killed 3 or 4 minions, which means she needs 4 or 3 minions to level up.
Yeah, and I've noticed that over time.
So you see how this CS is low. She wants it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So she's gonna go forward for it. So what you can do is your Q is up. You can hit her. You don't have to hit her with an auto, but it's nice to. But what you want to do is you wanna hit this. You wanna Q, and if there's a chance that the minion dies, because I don't know how much your Q damage it is, if it's not like the radius is like this. If the big part of the blade hits this minion, it's probably gonna die. But if this little part right here, like because it's a handle, if the handle hits it, it's probably not gonna die. But basically, if you killed this right here, you would have hit level 2 and leveled up your W. Because I did notice that you leveled up your W, which is the most optimal level up skill. So let me see. So she does go for that minion, like I said. You queued it. Yeah, if you autoed it and then queued it, it was gonna die, which means that you hit level 2. Yeah, see? Now you hit level 2. You have nothing to be afraid of, because when you level up, your stats are basically higher and you have access to another ability. So then once you level up immediately, you auto, you Q, you auto, you W, you auto, and now she's completely like wrecked. But during that time of hesitation, she was able to kill 2 minions, and then she leveled up because one of the backline minions died too. So levels are even right now, and she's already ticking a pot. Now, one thing that you see is that she starts. You can look at her items too, because it's important to look at a player's items in a game. So, noticing your items, you have 1 longsword and 3 health pots, right? And she has just a Doran blade, and she just used her only health pot. This means that you have more sustain than her. You bought only plus 10 damage, but you have no HP. Like, you don't have no flat 100 HP. Because that's what Doran, or 80 HP, whatever. But a total Doran's blade, let's say it gives 80, and then she has a potion that gives 150. That's 230 HP, right? Now, you didn't buy a Doran's blade, so you lost out on 80 HP. But you have 3 health potions, so that's 450 HP bonus. So if you added that together, you basically have, if I did my math, no, hold on, 370. You basically have this much more health than her, simply because you have more health pots. You have more sustain. There's no way she can out-sustain you, because the only thing that you have to worry about is managing your mana. You want to keep it above 50%, which is okay, because you're only level 2, and it's about, like, say 75% right now. But because she has less health pots than you, and she only had 1 single health pot, and she started Doran Blade, she's trying to optimize for damage, and she wants to last hit. She wants to hit minions, because 3% lifesteal, every hit counts. It's her only method of staying alive in the lane. Otherwise, you basically win this lane simply because you have more health pots. You can out-sustain her. You also have mana. You can't just spam your mana constantly. Like, you can't waste it, because then you're going to be relying on auto attacks, and she excels at that because she's a mana-less champion that can cancel autos with Q, auto, Q, auto. She'll basically win trades if you're out of mana. So you want to conserve your mana and harass her when the time is right. And the best time to harass her is when she goes for these things, these minions. And if she doesn't go for minions and tries to play it safe, you don't have to harass her. Just by simply being there, you can deny her CS, which is important. Yeah. So right here, you should actually be going backwards, because this minion wave is big, and a long time ago we talked about minion wave trading, and if there's a giant minion wave, you're gonna lose the trade simply because there's too many minions, and that kind of like that's basically a second champion. And around here, I wouldn't say ward right now, because your jungler hasn't finished his red buff yet. You wanna look at your own jungler and see how far they're finishing their camps, because it's pretty much like a mirror. Your jungler is basically as fast as their jungler, give or take a few seconds. But when they're done with their red buff, you wanna like drop your own ward as well. Okay, this should be a kill. If not, then it's okay.
Yeah, I don't think it was.
Yeah, it's all good if it's not a kill. Like, there's a chance that if you did like 1 or 2 more autos, yeah, she's really low. Personally, I would just like flash Q because I'm aggressive, but at the same time, it's not really worth the flash because she's also level 3, and you have to factor in that she can just shield or stun you under tower, which would probably result in a death, aka backfire. Yeah, so doing this is just enough. Now, a new tactic is to harass the target under tower. See, like just walking. Oh gosh, she's gonna stun you, really? You should actually have fought her, right? Yeah, yeah, good job. Okay, yeah. See, the reason why this backfired on her first. Okay, she is also because she's a bad Riven, but
Yeah.
notice the first thing she stuns you, right? So she made the first attack. You didn't touch her yet, which means you're out of tower range. There's no way that there's no way that you can lose this simply because one, you're out of tower range. Two, you hit her first, which means the minions will target her. And simply just by walking, you didn't even touch her yet. Again, you're still not, you haven't touched her at all. Look at all these minion particles on her. She already lost all the shield. Like, look at that. The shield's gone. All you have to do is just press Q and then she dies. It's very simple. Yeah. So
I
that's
also
that's good.
W'd and auto.
You don't have to. Yeah, you can do that too. But like, I would have just queued and then just like left it because the bleeding effect from your passive is enough to kill her. Now with this lead, you could build more damage because I think that's how Darius works. He builds either Bruta and Hydra, and then just goes full tank because that's what he needs. Yeah, that's fine. Your build is optimal. Yeah, 2 wards, 3. Oh, 3 wards. Okay, you want that. You want that. Okay, I'm guaranteed to be safe. That's really good for you. You bought a lot of wards, which is nice. Yeah. Always buy wards and potions to sustain. Pink ward should not be placed because, well, I mean, you can't place it if you show yourself in lane. Because if they were thinking about it, like, oh, he has a pink ward, and it disappeared. This means that it's somewhere within the vicinity of top lane because he just came back. You know what I mean? Like you show yourself in lane, and then you have a pink ward in inventory. Then you leave and then come back, and the pink ward's gone, which means that Riven could just go out, scout, and you lose the value of your pink ward. So you want to place your pink ward before you get into lane. And then you want to hide it in your item slot so that you don't like reveal that, oh, there was something there. That's just a good tactic to get used to, because the best place to place your pink ward would have been just the tri-bush, and you want to place it as close as possible to your side of the map, because it's just like a safe way of saying like, hey, you can come through tri-bush to gank this guy because there are guaranteed 0 wards in this area. Now the river, I can't say the same because it's a contested area for both sides, but the tri-bush is for sure because if she tries to commit herself to killing that your pink ward in the tri-bush, she's pretty much in a dangerous position, and we all know how dangerous positions can potentially get you killed. It's good that you're laning like this. You can auto attack her a bit more because simply because you have more damage than her. She only brought like one of these, and you have a lot more sustain. You can be okay. So you put the pink ward here. And what you want it to do is you want to put it to the edge, because it makes it so that she has to walk farther and commit more movement in order to just kill the damn ward. You know what I mean? Like if you put, let me put a hypothetical situation here. So I'm gonna put this pink color. So if you put the ward in the center, she only has to like walk like up here and then auto it 5 times. And then if you put it here or to like the edge of the particle here, she'd have to walk all the way up here to kill it. That's a little bit farther, but what difference does like this tiny little bit make? It's like, aside from the fact that it's just a hypothetical situation, it kind of applies to like mid lane or bot lane or even the tri-bush over here. But the fact that if you watched your minion waves, you saw how fast these guys were dying. So if she does, like say down here, she does commit more time to killing that pink ward, it means that she'll have to commit more time walking back, and by that time a bunch of minions can get killed, and she'll lose that gold just for wasting that precious bit of time killing the ward. Because if it takes like say from like this is the river bush, let's say it's in the middle, it takes her 10 seconds to walk here, and then and if you placed it down here, it would have taken say 13 seconds to walk down there. When she's traveling back, right, it's another 10 seconds, and when she's traveling back with the farther distance, she's lost another 13 seconds. So 20 seconds with like the mid, and then 26 seconds if you placed it all the way at the edge. She's lost 6 full seconds, which is basically like potentially 2 to 4 extra auto attacks from the tower if you denied her from the tower. So that's huge. And this is just like theoretical, but just walking a little bit of extra, because you have to go forward and backward. It takes time. So You just add like the little bit of extra time, and she loses CS because the theory in real life works in this game too. Time is money. So this is a kill. Yep. Now you have to escape. But you're gonna have to expect the hook. You can escape this without burning flash. Oh, actually, never mind. He still has E. Right. Yeah, flash is fine here because now you're safe enough. Let me just see if you could have actually seen that gank coming. Let's see. So you're on her, which is making you commit on her. It's likely that this gank should have been seen coming. Otherwise, he came through the tri-bush. Because yeah, he came. So right here would be because what Riven is doing is a tactic called committing, which basically means she's fighting you so that you have to either run away or you have to fight with her. Like, oh, she's making it seem like she wants to 1v1 you and she's crazy, so that you would stay committed and focused on her, so that you don't notice Nautilus coming down from the river. Yeah, if you looked at if you saw that Nautilus was coming, you would have backed off immediately, which you do actually. So you're backing off, but minion aggro, it'll kill her because you know she's not 6 and she's actually crazy. You know that you're ahead, you can still kill her, but the question is whether or not you can escape this wide ass hook. So there is a way to play around this. First, if you know Nautilus is if you actually knew Nautilus was coming and Riven was crazy enough to commit, there was a way to the way to avoid the way to you can let yourself be ganked is what I'm trying to say. Like you would have just like, hey, gank me. I'm ready for it. Like you're basically asking to be ganked. You fought Riven, you killed Riven, and then you knew Nautilus was coming, so you can play to just dodge Nautilus's hook. That's how you would have actually played around a Nautilus ganking you. I feel like in this part of the clip, you actually didn't know Nautilus was coming.
Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah.
I wasn't paying attention to that.
Yeah. It's okay though, because if you knew Nautilus was coming, you can still fight Riven, kill Riven, and escape for free. Because you knew he was coming. It's like, oh, hey, I know you're there, and I'm prepared for it. In this part, it was, I see you, but I wasn't prepared. Shit, and you had to flash.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's pretty much that's all. If the Nautilus was actually like more mechanically gifted on Nautilus, basically, he would have just walked up and autoed you, and there's no way you would have escaped that, because if he walked up and autoed you, it guarantees that he will land the hook. So if he walked up and autoed you, you would have had to flash there, but he didn't. He just threw the hook, so that guaranteed that you had a chance to dodge the hook. That's all. Okay, so she's gonna try to all in you. Okay, so it's no, it happens. It's how Riven plays. It does that. So you don't have a potion in your inventory. So it just popping a potion would be nice here, because there's a chance that she'll have to commit a little bit more time to attack you, but also because when she casts an ability, her AD goes up, and it's very dangerous. When she's 6, you have to know that she has a power spike, because her ult goes up, and when she activates her ult, her AD goes up naturally. That's what the ult does. So her AD is huge. She has just as much as you. Then she walks up and she's gonna try to fight you. When she casts an ability that's not her ult, aka her Q, W, or E, her AD is still gonna go up. So she's huge, basically. She has, even though you're 2 and 0 and very strong with health and damage and all that, she's stronger. She's stronger than you. It's like, if you, I don't know if you can see it, but her AD is 141. Like, just straight up right now, she's really fucking strong. So it's really hard to fight her. What you could do is you can auto Q, auto W auto, which is basically a long combination of just casting all your abilities while autoing in between, and this will have to change her pattern, because if you did a lot of damage during that time instead of actually running away, she wouldn't have been able to fight you 100%. Like, you would have gotten her lower and all, but what makes her be able to win trades is her ability to shield most of your burst. Plus the fact that your ultimate is down also makes you lose the trade, because your ultimate, your key component of Darius's kit, is missing. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
When she hits 6, basically, even if you're like 2 or 3 levels ahead, no problem. But you're even levels with her, because you're not exactly like completely starving her of farm. You're only like 16 CS ahead. You're still ahead. Like, if you don't know that, you're still ahead. 16 CS is basically a kill. You're basically 3 and 1, while she's like 2 and 2. So you're basically still ahead, and she's been denied. But what you want to do as Darius is try to freeze the lane so that she has to commit more time to farming. She's gonna have to put herself in a dangerous position in order to farm. Like, if you kept the wave right here, it would have been okay. Nice. Your CSing is very good. Like, you're using your abilities to guarantee that you get the last hit so that you don't, like, miss out on the money. Yeah. Be a little patient on them, though, too. Because, like, even if you have, like, 600 AD, you don't want to one-shot the minions. You want to be, like, patient about it. Because you missed a few. It's okay. Yeah. Pull her into the thing and then ult her. Oh, that canceled, though. Alright, I would commit a little bit more. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so there's the shield thing again. That kind of bothers me only because like she shielded pretty late, but I think hold on, how did she avoid the, cuz you pulled her, but did you pull her late? I got to see that again. Let's see.
I did pull her late.
Yeah, I felt like you pulled her cuz once you pull, usually people ult right away so that it doesn't like miss. All right, let's see. Let me just see that again. I want to see that exactly how you play that cuz when I said for you to pull, that should have been like the most opportunistic slide. Like she was basically open. She was asking to be pulled. Like if you pulled her, wait for it, wait till you're stunned. You auto right here after you W. You pull. If you pulled her right here, it would have been okay because the minions are on her still, and she gets to do her third Q. So it kind of like interrupts your pull like a little bit. She's not like 100% close to you. Then you ignite her, then she flashes. So you got to keep in track that she has no flash. And while she's very mobile, she has no flash. That's another mobility skill that's taken out of the fray. So keep in mind, like you gotta time the flashes because flash timing is important, and it gets even more important as you climb through the ladder because it helps ganks, it helps kills, helps team fights too if you have a non-mobile champion with no flash, like let's say Jinx, something like that. That's a good champion. Okay, so she's popping pots. And you gotta be careful of when she pops pots. Now you can't harass her here because you're gonna well actually I would, oh, she's dead. Yeah. Yeah, you're fine. Again, she's really crazy with those minion aggros, and like I would have pulled her first. It was a late pull, but I would have pulled her first because when you pull the target, for some reason they like lose their auto attack, so that kind of like denies her one auto. And then I don't think ignite would have been necessary there. Because I feel like your auto and your bleed is like just enough, but if she dashed and like blocked the damage, then yeah, ignite is fine. You can't risk it because it's two hypothetical situations. But her dash comes up pretty quickly, so I wouldn't say don't ignite, but I would say just like ignite at the last minute. Don't like ignite too early because they do have a chance to mitigate part of the ignite ticks with shields or heals. And then let's see. There was one thing. So Darius needs to build tanky. You're going for that sweet, what you call it? The sweet Sunfire Cape. That's a fine item. It's pretty good right now. So a lot of minions here. You don't want to fight her. If she decides to fight you, just back off because you're gonna lose. Yeah, you can harass her and stuff, but just keep your eyes out on that. There's a lot of money there. Yeah. Again, the ward. Just yeah. And don't be lazy
by
about
the
it
way,
either. Even like Apto, like one of the best players in the world, solo queue wise, he kind of gets lazy, but he only did it like once, and like people like flack him for it because you shouldn't be lazy even if it's like that. You can't be lazy because even if you place it at the edge, it still gets you get more vision. You still get full vision of the bush, and you get a little bit more vision down the river. So it kind of helps. I would fight her here actually. Yeah, she's dead. Straight up.
by the way, I meant to buy a sweeper, but I completely forgot each time I backed.
Oh, so the thing with top lane now is that sweepers aren't essential for the top lane every single time. It's mostly the yellow trinket upgrade if you buy the yellow ward upgrade, because then it's just for more vision control because top lane kind of like is an island, but sometimes that island gets fucking visitors from out of nowhere like fucking UFOs. So warding is very nice, whereas bot lane is you and I can do this thing together. I'll scout while you clear and stuff like that. And mid lane is just, okay, I can get ganked from anywhere, but, you know, my jungler can also gank from anywhere. So I gotta at least guarantee that one side is safe. Whereas top lane is, okay, everybody's gonna, like, kill me if I get ahead, and everybody's gonna, like, come up to this lane. And there's only one sightstone on the team unless your jungler's, like, a really high elo jungler and decides to buy sightstone, but it's very, very unlikely. So you want to help out with the warding cause by buying a yellow upgrade instead of a red. And red is only useful if they're ahead because they'll have a lot more wards. But even then, you still have the yellow upgrade because, more wards for yourself. And the river ward's fine. Like, there's nothing, I can't really say anything wrong about where you place your ward there. Other thing is to actually take the fucking crab. While this may deny your jungler, like junglers are the ones that are supposed to take the crab. If your jungler's nowhere to be seen, just take the crab. But don't commit too much mana on it, because that bitch, like, the fucking crab likes to run away a lot. So don't commit like too much, like don't like throw all your spells just to kill the crab. Just if you can't get it fast enough before like a wave comes, like if a wave starts building up and you're gonna lose a lot of CS by just like taking all that time to kill the damn crab, then don't waste your time killing the crab. Now it's pretty hard to freeze your lane as Darius, but she is in fact afraid of you. Like, you gotta look, you're 2 levels ahead of her and you're under 50% mana, and this is bad because when you're under 50% mana, if you try to do the full burst, you might run out of mana before you do the full burst. Or if somebody comes and ganks you from a place where you like weren't having it warded, like let's say the enemy jungler Nautilus, he decided, oh hey, looks like Amumu wasn't there, so I'm gonna do the Wraiths or the Raptors, and then he decides to walk up top of the try, and you don't have it warded because you already have the river warded, and you think, oh, just having the river warded should be enough because their jungler isn't crazy enough to go through the our jungle. But hypothetically, if Nautilus came right now, you'd be in trouble in terms of running away, because with your W and E, you can actually pull him to you, slow him, and then get out because he's slow. But that's just like one theory, because you don't have hard CC. So keep your mana, just like manage your mana above 50% until because there's this thing called critical situations, in which when you get ganked, that's when you want to expend the other 50%, or team fights when you want to expend all your mana. Because when it's under 50% mana, this is where, like, when she tries to CS, you want to harass her. See, like, she's getting that tower minion or cannon minion. You want to deny her. She's gonna die right here. Ignite, ult. Oh, see, yeah, here's the mana issues. There we go. They're prevalent. Oh, she's dead anyway because you're too strong. Okay, no need. All right. Wait, no. Oh crap. Okay, so here's a heads up. Riven is behind, right? So you know she's behind, but you can't let her get back into the game, because at any point Rivens can actually just you've seen videos. Like, I don't know if you have or not, but like there are tons of videos where Rivens is just E flash W and then stun like shit ton of people and like ult them for a max burst, and then the team just follows up and like wrecks everybody. You can't just allow her to do that. How do you demoralize a Riven, or how do you like put her so behind that her burst isn't enough for her team to kill everyone on your side? You want to deny her. You want to keep her down, basically. It's pretty dark, but basically when she's down and sad and shit, you want to keep that going. You can't just give them motivation. Like, this game is pretty dark. Like, there's always like, yeah, like there's like you want to basically kick her while she's down, and you want to keep kicking her while she's down till she can't like move. Like, for fuck's sake, you gotta like hospitalize her, put her in the emergency room. It's probably something I shouldn't be joking about, but that's how you demolish a champion that not only has a strong early game and a pretty weak late game, but can come back in the late game. Like, Lee Sin can dominate the early game and shit the bed late game, but he can come back with one good kick. You gotta keep him down. You gotta keep those kind of champions down. What you should have done right there, which would have been a little bit like more optimal, like it's not always like 100% like you have to do this every single time, but it's recommended here only because it's Riven and she is behind, and it makes it harder for her to come back in the game. And since this is like lower elo, people tend to flame more, people tend to tilt more, and it makes them play worse. So what you would do right here is green means go, red means stop, right? So basically you want to stop right there. You don't do, or well, actually not there, but you want to you clicked right here. Good. You want to stop right here and do absolutely nothing. Sounds weird, right? But you do absolutely nothing. Now your tower's at 176 HP, and you killed it in like 2 autos. So you know you can fucking kill this tower. What you can do is you want to let this tower destroy all these minions here, because that will like it's similar like to how you push a lane. When you push a lane, the tower kills it, and if they don't last hit it while under tower, they lose the CS. Same thing here, because all this CS is EXP for her to catch up. She's level 8. Which means that she'll get EXP to hit level 9 and 10 and 11, and just denying all this here kind of like lowers her ability to come back in the game. You're 3 levels ahead of her now. Eventually she's gonna be 2 levels down, and you want to keep that lead. Like if you're like 4 levels ahead of her, you've done something right. But denying this is denying gold, it's denying exp, and it's also denying her chances of coming back into the game as a proper Riven. So you want to let the tower see it, let the tower take all these creeps here, but you don't want to let the tower die to the minions because you'll lose gold. Because when you last hit it, wait for it, hit, and then you hit that with your W. So your W did 120. That's a shit ton of damage. And then you got 150 gold for that, plus 100 global. I think it's 250 total. You get the kill. You have to get the kill. Yeah, 1950. Let's see. So you're at 2K. Hit. Yeah, so it's 275 gold. So if you didn't last hit it, you would get 250 gold. But last hitting it, kind of like that 25 gold is basically another pot or potential for wards or bigger items. Yeah, red, bleh, yellow, bleh. It's your choice. Doesn't matter. Here, I would ask you to get a pink again. Even if you've already placed a pink on the ground, in the case that she actually destroys it, or you need to siege an objective as a team, you want to get another pink and place it somewhere where your team actually needs it. Because at this point, having a pink up and that all the way up there is kind of irrelevant because, you know, you've won your lane, basically. But you want to win. You want to not only win, but you want to win hard. Because right now, if they actually had like the morale boost to come back into the game, Riven can just sit up there and freeze farm where she's at. So here you're gonna use your lead to your advantage, because if the situation of which Riven just sits up at top and freezes to catch up to the amount of CS that, you know, she lost when she lost lane to you, because she's down like half your CS right now. If she chooses to farm and stay up at top lane for like 24 hours or whatever. What you gotta do is you gotta make shit happen around the map, so that you're basically telling Riven, you need to help your team or I'm going to destroy everyone. And this is exactly what you're doing. You're doing it right. So you kill this, and that's good. And then if you were choosing to go top lane, because she's not freezing, she's pushing, you can just kill her again, because your level is ahead of her. You're 2 levels ahead of her. You still hypothetically would have been 3, maybe if that entire wave just, you know, didn't get like chunked down by her, because she came back up there and she got that wave that you couldn't deny. And then when you don't deny a wave, a bigger wave builds up on your end, and you have to kill all the CS because you don't want to miss all the CS. Yeah, she can't trade with you right now because she plays differently. She plays ahead. You also have blue buff, so at this rate you can keep your mana above 35%. Would be the safe mark. But if blue buff, because your regen will kind of like make up for the missing 15%. When I say keep it above 50, with blue buff just keep it above 35 because the regen will. Oh man, all that.
Yeah.
Blood. Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
So for that one, you just want to place it on the edge, and it's just, you don't want to place it deep, but you want to place it on the edge. That's all.
Mm.
There's nothing I can say about this ward because like not a lot of people placed it there. Oh. Yeah, Q, good Q. Okay. W, good. Okay, he either does that or he has to flash. He's not going to flash. Okay, I wouldn't recommend flashing there, but, well, you got the kill. Best thing, well, I think this is the video short. I can see what he said, but it's one-sided. Yeah, it's pretty good. Now, it's also good that you're denying farm. This is a thing that happens in the upper areas more, but you have to have you want to have their jungle warded, and you have to know where the enemy jungler is if you want to start denying farm. So, it is okay to walk into the enemy jungle and take their camps and leave one camp leave one of the creatures alive. Like there's 3 wolves, kill 2 of them and leave 1 alive. Cuz that doesn't just set your top laner behind, but that also sets your opponent your enemy top laner behind, but your enemy jungler gets behind too, because they have to scavenge for CS and money. And at the same time, top laners also like feel greedy enough, because when they're behind, they'll start to like scour into their allied jungle and start taking jungle camps just to try to get back into the game. And when you deny that from them, it puts 2 people behind. So it's okay to deny. Like, I'm not saying it's like you should always counter jungle, but if you feel that it's safe for you to do it, do it. Because like in the case that their mid laner is ahead, but their top laner and jungler are like okay, average, if they coordinate a gank on you, you're screwed. And if the jungler took if the jungler, like, let's say not like smited his wolves, they'll know you're in his jungle. So you can't just like take it every time. You want to make sure, okay, their jungler's down there. Are the wolves up? If the wolves are up, okay, can I do them safely? Okay, can I leave safely? It's like a flow chart. You gotta weigh your options, but it's very fast. And if you see their jungler and he's walking towards the wolves and you don't think you can take them in time, don't take them. Like shit. But if you get ganked, you're screwed. Okay, so the best thing to do right here is to definitely walk towards your team. This is the final team fight. This is probably where they're gonna surrender soon. Okay, just focus the target closest to you. Pull both. Nice. I would recommend you slow not. Okay, yeah, he ulted. Yeah, Q ignite. Oh, don't ignite. Okay, never mind. Oh wow, that thing timed out like right at the right time. I wouldn't say ignite because then if the thing didn't time out and you killed it, you just lost ignite because all the ticks just magically disappear. And at this point, since it is over, well, if you wanna like let's say you're behind, you theoretically you just take all the dragons that you can. That's just like because you're ahead right now. You just take the dragon. It's just like a luxury right now. Because you're already ahead enough that you've already won this game. Is this the first or second? I think it's the second. Yeah, that's the second one. When you're this far ahead, you still wouldn't build more damage because he doesn't really scale too hard with damage. Like you can, it's not the best, but I would build Merc Treads only because they got a lot of like annoying magic crowd control champions like Nautilus and Riven, a little bit of Zillion slows and stuns too. Okay, let's see. So she's basically have your CS once again. Top lane's pushing. I would still recommend you just shove mid as a team because you want to close out the game as soon as possible. And the soonest time is 20 minutes, which is basically the surrender time. You know you're doing stuff right when you close the game out of 20 minutes because that's the surrender time. If you close the game before 20 minutes, it means that you stomped them so hard they just lost morale and they can't even surrender because it's too early. Okay, you would kill Not here. Ooh, nice bubble. Okay, auto, W, auto, Q. Yeah, straightforward. Some Darius choose to build Frozen Heart, but the opposing team does not seem to call for that. Like you wanna itemize efficiently based on the opponent. Some items like Hex Drinker isn't bad either. Hex Drinker can save you. Yeah, it's a fucking huge item that saves you. Okay, and you had a second clip, right? Or
No, I was going to record one yesterday, but I forgot to.
rip. Okay, did you have any more, or because this one's pretty damn short?
No, I could record one really quick.
Yeah, but then you have to upload it, so it would be harder.
Yeah, but my upload time's pretty fast, but
Oh, is your upload speed good?
it's pretty good. Like an hour to 40 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Got uploaded in like about 40 minutes actually. So
Damn. All right. Well, guys, I gotta get going at like in an hour anyway, so it kind of sucks. But you just have it done. I'd probably say tomorrow would be the best time, or something around that area vicinity.
sure,
You know.
I'll check when you're available tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay. So for some reason my thing I just accidentally clicked stop recording, but this will probably be up on YouTube. I'd say as soon as possible because I can upload it overnight while I'm sleeping, and then it'll be up around in the morning. Like this whole VOD of basically the lecture. I just need to let's see. Okay. Yeah, it'll be up on my channel, this one, and you can rewatch it and you can show it to other people if they're interested or something like that.
Sure.
But mostly you can just rewatch it, and if you needed clarification on anything, like what did he say here? Oh, what did he say here? Like it'll all be up there. So I'm just reviewing anything I missed. What I covered was denial, level 2 power spike, because Darius definitely is a very aggressive laner, but in the late game he becomes weak. It doesn't fall off hard. I mean, like his power spike is something like goes up and then it like goes down like this. But then like as it goes late game to like 50 minutes, it's gonna go down like that. Kind of like falls flat, like that, something like that.
Right.
Kind of like a mountain. But like something like Lee Sin would be like that, like completely downhill. But itemization, warding. Commit your wards to your side of the map. Make it so that they'll have to spend more time walking to the damn ward to kill it, because it can actually be used to your advantage if they're like, okay, crap, I can kill this ward. And if they're on your side of the map, like let's say it's mid lane, right? Like as Darius, you can, like, here's a perfect screenshot right now. I'm glad you panned over to mid lane. Okay, So if you place your ward, say in the mid, right, and you're Darius and you're standing here, and you see that he swept, but when you see that when someone sweeps, they gotta stand like right here or like right here or something, and they gotta auto it, right? They gotta auto it 3 to 6 times, 3 or 5 times depending on which ward you place. You can see them still there. If you place the ward here and you're standing here and they swept right here, they won't know you're here, right? So what you can do is when you're like okay, I'll just clear this ward. You just use your pull. You drag them over here. Not only do you save your ward, good job, but you drag them over here and you can basically kill the target, or you can severely cripple them so that they'd have to say walk all the way over here, or they can't take an objective, or they have to flash over just to escape. But you can use it to your advantage, because let's say you guys are like, okay, I think we should your team is saying I think we should Baron, and then you see, oh, their jungler is still alive, and if their jungler decides to, like I said, clear the ward here, you pull him, you weaken him, this guy gets like no HP, he has to back to base, otherwise he has to go back to base, otherwise he's gonna die. So you put him all the way back at the base, that takes 8 seconds, then he has to walk all the way to Baron. By that time you guys can just take the Baron, provided that like you guys can 5v4, because the other team is probably going to contest or something. But that's one of the reasons why you want to commit your ward as close as possible to this wall. Don't when you ward though, don't click the wall, because there's a chance that it backfires and it places it like right here, because you want to just place it like right there. Yeah.
All right, good to know.
It depends on your side though. I mean, if your red side, because in this game your red side, you just place it on as close to the red side map as possible.
Right,
and
right.
Then vice versa for the blue side, just in this corner. And then it applies for bot lane. You want to place it. Well, bot lane is a little harder because the bush goes this way, and if you place it down here, you're not gonna see enough. So I would still place it up in the corner. It's only if it's bot lane. But if it's like the tri bush, for the top tri bush, I would place it here, and for the bot tri bush, I would still top tri bush, I would place it up here, and for the bot one, I would place it down here. If you chose to use your pink, because remember what I said about keeping your pink in your inventory. If they're actually smart enough, they'll click on you and say, hey, he has a pink, and then they'll say, hey, his pink is gone. You would place it like in that area in the tri bush, so that they would have to walk all the way the fuck up here to kill it, or you could place it there and they'd have to walk straight past to kill it. Putting it up here means they have to curve and they have to like turn and shit. And that's easier than turning is harder than just like walking straight, So that's just a tip. Ward placements, denying someone farm, kicking someone while they're down, basically, and keeping them down. And then knowing Riven's power spike, because you were ahead and you're like 2 kills up, you're a shit ton of gold up on her, but she can still kill you because she has a level 6 power spike. It can happen, so you got to be aware, like when a champion hits 6, like they still have power. They're not completely dead. They're not completely down. They're not like AFK, because when they're AFK, they're gone from the game. They're no longer a factor. But she still is a factor. And then the other thing was when Nautilus ganked you up at top earlier, you can just avoid the gank not only by dodging the hook, but like that's one thing. Like knowing he was coming while Riven was being aggressive on you is a thing. Like, okay, I know Naut is coming. I can prepare for this. It's kind of like when a jungler, basically what happens is a mid laner's here and a enemy mid laner's there, and they're trading and everything. But the mid laner has a ward here, and the enemy jungler is just waiting here for an opportunity to gank. When this mid laner overcommits, then the jungler will step in to intervene. That's normal. Now, what the mid laner can do is, knowing that he has a ward here, he knows that this guy is here. He knows that this jungler is waiting to gank. So what he can do as a mid laner is pretend to be aggressive, only to bait this guy out or waste his time, because again, time is money, and that's very important.
Right.
Yeah. So if you knew Nautilus was ganking, and if you knew Nautilus was coming, you have the option. And if you were waiting, you could have like made him commit more time to just sitting there and doing nothing. But the wave was not in your favor, so he's just gonna walk straight to the lane and gank you. So that's a problem. So what you could have done is just you killed Riven, which you did, and then do your best to, you could fight him if the hook didn't land, but I think you had your ult like ready, but you didn't execute your target with your ult, which means that your ult's like it's not on cooldown, is it? If you don't kill your target with ult, it goes on it doesn't go on cool, it doesn't reset, right? Let me see. Yeah, it didn't reset. You had like a 90-second. Yeah, it has a 90-second cooldown. Yeah. So you wouldn't be able to kill if you killed Riven with your ult, then you can kill Not too, because he's only level 4 and you're level 6, and you still had a ult opportunity. But if you since he was still coming, if you aside from dodging the hook, if you knew he was coming, you could have prepared for it by just like playing differently, just walking differently. That's all.
Right. Yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna start rendering this. Oh yeah. Do you have any questions? Yeah.
Just two, not really, because you were very clear through the lesson.
Yeah.
But two things. One, could I actually get a link to your channel?
Oh yeah. I'll write that real quick. And then the other one.
What was it? Oh no. Okay, I can't remember that one. But I'll probably upload it either tonight or tomorrow. Either way, it'll be in time for the next session. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing that's really strange I found, I noticed that you were moving side to side. Were you trying to like dodge the ult? Because that thing's like really wide. Like it's a cone. Like you were moving side to side. Like you were kind of like, okay, it's a skill shot. No, it's a wide cone, man. You can't. Yeah. I think it would be better if you walked the straight path. Like you're going straight, right? And then you go down, then you go up. And I'm like, what is going on?
It's because a few games prior to that, I had the same lane matchup, and I dodged her ult by pulling her and then walking around her.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, yeah, I could do that again. And then,
I see. So that comes into the theory of like skill shot landing, in which you apply a soft or hard CC before throwing the skill shot. Because she Q'd you the third time, which knocked you up, which guarantees that you can't move. And then she threw the ult, so that, you know, since you're not able to move, you're gonna get hit by it. So she was pretty smart in terms of like that little play. That's a very good concept. Like it's kind of like Darius it applies to Darius too. You can slow your target down with your W prior to casting your Q, only because that it'll make it so that you can walk back safely, then drop your full damage Q instead of like doing anything. Or you can just guarantee that you pull them if you W first and they can't escape, etc., etc. But it doesn't work too well with Darius because he doesn't have like a hard CC skill shot. It's better with someone like Thresh, because Thresh can slow a target with Flay, then like hook them, because it's harder for them to dodge a hook while they're not able to move so fast, etc.
Right.
Yeah. So what she did right there was, since you're moving in such a weird pattern, she might have not thought about it, but the basic is she Q'd you the third time, so you can't move. So it guarantees that her ult will land no matter what, because you're in the air. You can't like fucking defy gravity and move while you're in air. So, yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
I do have another question. What elo do you think this is?
This is probably like gold. Like I'm assuming this is gonna be gold. Like there's nothing like in silver. It's a little bit worse, but like because I've actually played on my Smurf account in silver. But I think it's like, okay. So I would say it's because there's things that Riven is doing right, and there are things that Riven is doing wrong. And this thing is like it's like it is gold. It's just somewhere in gold. I can't estimate. There are things that she is doing right, which is like level 6 power spike, bush manipulation. She's not doing those are correct, and the fact that she used hard CC to guarantee she lands a skill shot is also right. Versus stuff she's doing wrong, pushing the lane at level 1, aka Riven's level 2 power spike or level 3 power spike, farming under tower. She's not doing minion control right because she's fighting you under your giant fucking wave of minions, and she did that twice. She didn't learn from her first mistake. Like it was like, okay, gold 3, then it went down. It's like between 5 and 3, maybe 2 if it's like skewered MMR. But I'd say it's between gold 5 and 3. Am I around there?
Well, in this particular, like, I got a name change right when I hit gold 5. And this is when I hit my series in silver 1. And I have really high MMR because I just kept winning and winning. Solo queue games.
Yeah.
So.
Because I would assume, because like if it's series from silver to gold, like when you under series, you get paired with people from the next division, or you get paired with people in series. So I would say like yeah, it's still somewhere around the goal because like there are things that again she's doing right and she's doing things wrong.
Oh, actually, now that I can talk to someone who would probably know this, so on a few of my win streaks, I noticed that I was being paired with plat fives and plat fours.
It means that they have bad
And
MMR. Holy shit! You get paired with five flies of holy shit. That's really bad MMR. They're probably like, wait, what champions are they playing? Like, give me like three, just like three champions.
1 second, I could actually just go on the match history real quick. Here it is.
Yeah.
But like I never got paired with other silvers from silver 2 on. So I don't know.
It's
No,
good that you have good.
not all
It's not wrong to have bad MMR. In fact, I mean, it's not wrong to have good MMR. It improves you as a player, because you have to play with higher people in order to constantly climb and whatnot.
Was there plats in this game? Okay, so one of them was like Caitlyn,
Nah. Okay.
Diana,
I'm looking
LeBlanc.
for the toxic champions, because that kind of
Oh,
probably
okay.
defines like what why their MMR is so strangely skewed
I
low.
I did have a Hekra mid.
That doesn't count. Like champions like Lee Sin, Zed, or Riven are like name three. Those are some toxic champions. If you see Lee Sin's, Riven's, or Zed, just be careful, because they will flame you. Like it happens. There's a lot of flame with those kind of champions, and Thresh, like give or take. Like there's some Threshes are just pretty flaming, but this is there. That's all I can say.
Right.
Oh, and Vayne, definitely Vayne. That's why I don't like Vayne. Yeah, definitely Vayne champion too. If anybody plays Vayne, oh god. But you should just check their win to loss ratio, because the win to loss ratio kind of matters. If it's like more negative than positive, like if it's like 79 to like 80 or 79 to like 85 or something.
It's usually 50% or slightly above 50% from what I've seen.
At plat it should be like 55% or a little higher than that, etc., etc. Yeah.
Oh, by the way, all the champions you said are recent champions in my in my champion pool and rank.
Oh god. It's not that I don't hate coaching them, it's that like it's harder to coach them because there's different styles of playing them in every single elo. Every single division, like there's a way to play them. But it depends on the champion. Like Lee Sin is like the hardest to coach because there's too many things that you have to do. Like he's too mobile as a champion, because if you don't know how to ward hop, it kind of diminishes half of your, or not half, but like 25% of your kit, and then like flash kicking or kick flashing, etc. It's all mechanically based. It's not just game knowledge. But if I were to just simply coach based on game knowledge based stuff, that's easy. But mechanical stuff is like something you have to work on like over time. That's just like you learn as you go kind of thing. You just master the champion. It's kind of weird to explain, but like Darius mechanics is like just autoing in between every spell, because you want to maximize your bleed stacks, because that's how his passive works. It's kind of the same thing with Riven. You want to maximize your passive stacks. You can't just cast all 3 Qs. You're not gonna get the full damage out of it. When you auto, you Q, you auto, you W, you auto on Darius, you get 1, 2, 3, 4. You get 4 out of your 5 bleed stacks like set up. And I think if Q applies bleed, that's your 5th bleed stack. And then with 5 bleed stacks, your ulti just does max damage. Simply because you casted 2 spells and autoed in between every single one of them. You do your maximum ulti damage. Like that's just theoretically if Q does give the thing and you don't mess up and stuff like that. If you're in panic, well, I mean, yeah, you can spam and shit, but like you gotta get into the habit of it. That's just mechanical and stuff.
Right.
Mm-hmm. The meta is slowly revolving around Smite Teleport, but I still don't recommend you do it because it only works. It works best in not only competitive, but places where you don't get ganked a lot. Because like when a fucking jungler comes and ganks you and you don't have flash, you basically lost part of your mobility. Champions like let's say Darius ran Smite Teleport, you're not gonna get anything out of it. You don't build that. It's like theoretically you don't build that.
I know you build it on like Shyvana or
yeah.
I see a lot of Renekton's building it.
Oh god, what the freak? Okay. Oh, that's awful. You don't build it.
Is it really?
I wouldn't build it on Renekton. Renekton's a bruiser. While he does build tanky, Cinderhulk isn't the item for him. Oh jeez. Oh yeah, this part. Yeah, the ward. Yeah. And then the other thing is Crab. While it may not give too much vision, it's still 35 gold, and it's a very helpful scouting tool.
Mm.
Also denies the opponent getting the crab too, because it gives EXP and money. And invading, if it's safe to invade, invade. And if you invade, counter jungle them. If it's not safe to invade, don't do it. Like it's a theory. Like if it's not safe to invade, keep going. Like no, come on. Like yeah. And even if you could think you can kill them, it's the fact that they're not present on the map is what makes it a threat. Because if 3 people jumped on you, and you're Darius and you don't have enough mana to like back yourself up, you're probably gonna get like destroyed, and you give away what lead you already have. So that's all. It's just a heads up. Yeah. And then if an enemy decides to freeze farm to try to get themselves back in the game, you can take your advantage to your team by ganking other lanes. And while ignite versus teleport dilemma on Darius, either or is fine. In the higher ups, it's easier to use teleport because you can actually assist your team more by jumping down there and providing like the slows and the bleed damage that they're not prepared for and all that. But up on top lane, if you're really looking for that solo kill pressure, and you did in this lane, go for the ignite. But just keep your eyes on the map, because if Riven starts leaving, you have to push and stuff like that. That's just a talk for another day, because Riven. It kind of like just doesn't show here, because like I can't really like say it, because you already like destroyed this game like single-handedly. You're 70% of the freaking team's kills. Like fuck.
Let me see. All right, so I think I'm gonna go and record that video for tomorrow.
Okay.
What time do you think you'll be available, by the way?
I think my discussion class ends at like 2 or 3, so I'll be back at around the same time like now again.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, because it's 9:30 here, so.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. I'll probably have someone over, so he'll be able to listen in on this.
Okay.
Alrighty. Well,
alright.
Adios.
Alright, this will be up tomorrow. Take care.
Alright, all good. Later.
Peace.